Hey guys, it's me again, and in today's episode, we simulate anime hair. Now this idea started as an absurd thought in my head, and without giving it a second thought or thinking ahead, I just woke up in the middle of night at 3 AM and shot a video of my face. Now look at the guy, look at his face, look at that smile on his face. That's the smile of a man who thinks how hard could it be to simulate some hair. We'll just import this video into Cinema 4D, add some hair, and it's done. But little did he know that he was getting fucked over by the last 2 brain cells left in his head. And cut to 40 minutes, 50 minutes later. That is the face of a man who just realized it's not as easy as it sounds. His GPU in his PC is shit. There is no tutorial on this topic anywhere on the internet, and also the 2 brain cells that he had left died in the process. But what if I learn about this topic and make my own video? This could end up working in my favor. Let's see. So I immediately shot another video. I thought I could track my face, so I shot this video with my face painted with a lot of tracking markers. I spent 30 to 40 minutes manually tracking my head throughout the whole footage. But then when I tried to translate that tracking data from my track to the joint in my 3D object, it just didn't work. It didn't. And this process has worked for me. The problem was I had just the head, and it was just the head. The problem was I had the neck and the shoulder for me. This time before, it didn't work. But like any other artist, I tried to stay as calm as possible and stayed professional. Well, then I proceeded to plan B, which should have been my plan A, but I wanted to look like a fucking hero with my new technique. Well, now we know better. Now I brought my 3D model that I made in Dash 3D into Cinema 4D. If you do not want to make your own model, I'll have mine linked in the description for free. Now I also imported the footage into Cinema 4D by using animated texture on a background object. I created a new camera and changed the focal length to my original footage. I placed the model at a distance from camera which is approximately same between me and my camera in the original footage. Then I selected the polygons that aren't needed using the rectangle selection tool and deleted them. I only needed the torso or even just the shoulder, neck and head. If you're not planning to simulate long hair, you don't even need the neck and shoulder. But if you want long hair like I did, you need them because you need the hair to react with the surfaces. Now I dropped down the joints and frame by frame animated the lower neck and head joint to match my footage. Now I did not match the animation to like every single pixel, which was a big mistake I shouldn't have made. Please make a perfect animation of the 3D object relative to your footage. If you still make some mistakes, I'll show you how to fix it in After Effects. Now select the top polygons of your model and give him a great hairline, little more than yourself. It wasn't difficult for me because I haven't got a 4-head, I've got a 5-head. Now after selecting your polygons, go to selection and click on store selection. This is not really important, but it's a great precaution. Now while your polygon is selected, go to simulate, hair and add hair. And boom, you're done. Bye bye. No, we are not. We are definitely not. I went through the hell that is hairstyling and you will have to go through that too. Now go back to simulate and bring out the styling tools. We're going to need hair mode, hair edit and hair tools. Before we start styling our hair, we need to select our model, right click, hair tag and add a hair collider tag to it so the hair starts colliding with it in real physics. Now what I did was reduce the total hair count because I don't think my PC can handle it. Also I reduced the guide count and length of my hair depending on my requirements. Now when I press play, the hair will fall down. And then I set it to initial state so that every time I go to the beginning of my timeline, the hair does not reset. Change your hair mode to points and then select the scissors from tools. Give your character a good haircut. Let the animation run for a couple frames so you can get a good look of hair. Set it to initial state again and cut the undesired hair again. Now I'm going to add some external forces, which in my case is a wind for that heroic look. Increase the wind speed, add some turbulence. The hair is probably going through your model right now, so go to forces in the hair options and turn on hair to hair and hair to surface dynamics. Keep editing or styling your hair as you go because chances are some hair guides were probably hiding before. Now go to the hair material. In the basics, you have multiple hair properties to choose from like color, scale, thickness, clump, kink, frizz, etc. Now playing with these settings will give you varieties of hairstyles, for example this, this, this or this. Now a pro tip. Well, I'm not a pro, so let's call it an intermediate tip. If you're doing a complex hairstyle with long hair in the back, short in front and then those curly bits on the forehead, do not work in one instance of hair tag. Select multiple areas on your head and add separate hair tag to all of them. Then you can have multiple properties and colors on all those hair. I'll now add my lighting and HDRI to get a better look at the color and appearance of my hair. At first I chose a blondish color because that's what I had in mind when I started out, but later I realized that it looked really bad. Nevertheless, the setting I chose to set first was thickness, because in trial render the hair looked horrendous because it was really thick, but this time I set the values right, which for me were 0.4, 0.1 with a variation of 0.2. I should have gone lower, but I wasn't sure if my PC could handle it. Now make sure your hair to hair forces have the radius set to what your hair thickness is, or you'll get something like this. I set my radius at 0.3, strength at 1 and 2. Another pro tip, intermediate tip, you can cache your animation by going to cache and calculate. So while you're adjusting other stuff like lighting, camera and materials in your scene, the simulation does not take any more of your processing power. Now set your model as a Redshift object, go to the Redshift tag, choose matte and enable it. These options are available in all your renderers and the physical renderer in Cinema 4D. Use it while exporting, then just export it in an EXR or JPG sequence, whatever you like. In After Effects, it's just as easy as drag and drop. Now if you made a mistake like me and did not perfectly match the animation, you'll see the alpha holes. I did not want to go back and re-render all of it, so I played smart. VFX is nothing but cheating the eyes, so I just painted with a clone tool every frame I saw this hole. Also use this technique to remove these tracking points which were useless. I changed my hair color in After Effects by using an effect called tritone. I played with the mid tones and set the other two at black. Added some smoke and background element, added glow to blend some things together, some camera dolly movements, shake, motion blur, and voila, we're done. Now this may not have been the best technique to do this, but this is what I learned in my trial and error process, and it's good enough. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.